are back for the Everton preview. Now, Ryan, we were discussing this off camera. Everton aren't exactly in the best vein of form. They're pretty poor at the moment, and of course they are in the relegation zone, just a position above the foot of the table, which of course Southampton take that throne. So yeah, let's kick off then. What do you think's gone wrong at Everton? Let's start there. What do you think? Why do you think they're having such a terrible season?
Oh, mate, so much. They've spent so much. But you think how much money they've spent over the last 5 years. They've always been the team to spend 150 million on so rubbish, and they've really paid the price for it. I think it goes to show earlier what I was saying about us and how good we are with what we do with our model, and how it always sort of comes back as a machine and all that sort of thing. Everton are that really, but complete opposite. They are the opposite of a well-run club. They're a bit of a mess. They spend too much money. They buy the wrong players. They've got a disconnect with their fans. Obviously, they're trying to get the new stadium, isn't it? But I don't know. They're really paying the price for their own downfalls, really. And I think that they've really seen it this season. They haven't been really a good team for a good 2 or 3 years, have they really? So I wouldn't really say it's too much of a surprise. It's similar to Leicester, really. If you get caught napping, then unfortunately you're going to have to pay the price for it. And unfortunately, as I say again, the ones that have to suffer are the fans. But it's just a poorly run football club, as is a lot of clubs in the league this season, particularly.
Yeah. No, mate, I think that's the sort of nail on the head there. I think it's been, from the outside looking in, I think, yeah, you're right. The way the club's being ran is not great. There's been a lot of grumbles with Sean Dyche even. I know, obviously, when he came in, everyone was like, he's going to save us. A lot of the Evertons were like, he's going to save us.
Not from Ancelotti to Dyche in like a year or two.
Which is insane, isn't it? Like, if you actually think about that is insanity. And yeah, there's been a lot of rumblings actually within the fan base I've seen on socials about his tactics, essentially, about, first of all, who he's starting and who he's playing, and then second of all, and apparently he doesn't make enough subs, and he doesn't make the subs at the right time, and playing his mates is what they're saying, obviously, with Michael Keane at centre-back. They're all saying that he only plays him because of his time at Burnley, which is interesting. Just playing a player just because he's your mate. I don't think that's what Sean Dyche is doing, to be honest with you. He probably just believes in the player.
Does that, to be fair.
Well, yeah, you're right. He does, to be fair. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. It seems like, they're very much in disarray. Now, a stat I wanted to pull out for you, Ryan, is, as we all know, I love a little stat. Everton are actually 17th when it comes to away form. So, out of the last 20 games, 17 games played, they've only won one game on the road, which is pretty shocking, to be honest with you.
That's pretty poor. That makes me think, oh my gosh, but
unfortunately, I don't have who that was against, so I'm sure we can pull that out. But in the last 5 games away from home, they have drawn 4 and they lost to Man United. So that's interesting. I think 4 draws in their last 5 away games. Does that suggest it's going to be another draw at the Amex on Monday? Or do you think we're going to be too strong?
I think we're too strong. The Amex especially, we're very good. We've slaughtered a lot of teams here now. We've really, we've won 4-0 against West Ham. We've beaten Chelsea 4-1. We've beaten obviously Wolves 6-0. We've really taken teams to the swords. We've beaten a massive club Grimsby 5-0. But we've really beaten teams when we want to. So I think that Everton are there for the taking. Obviously, it goes without saying. I do have an air of arrogance about it, just because of, obviously last night we did really well. We were just on the back of a 6-0, obviously, as well. I don't see us not performing anymore. I think that, you'd always expect us to turn up, especially at home. I think Nottingham Forest was an anomaly. It was a hangover from the Wembley game, and then obviously you're going up against a team that are fighting for their lives at their place, which is a very loud place as well. But we've already beaten Everton 4-1 this season. I don't see any reason why we can't do something similar again on Monday.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think also as well, what I want to touch on as well is like their lack of goals. Now, we were talking about it again off there, about our goal scoring sort of feat. So we've obviously got McAllister leading the way with 9. And then, Matoma, March and Welbeck with 7 and 6 respectively. But interestingly, for Everton, I think Dwight McNeil is their highest goal scorer with 5 goals. Which again, he's a midfielder, not even not even a striker. And then interestingly as well, if we go to goals scored for Everton, they've only scored 27 goals this season, which I believe is a league low. So they're the lowest scoring team.
Wow.
And they've conceded 52 goals as well. So I think what's happening is, going forward, they're very much struggling. And I think with our defence at the moment, I don't see any reasons why we wouldn't have a shutout. But what is it about, if anything, Ryan? And I know this, I can see where this answer is going to go. Is there anything that worries you with Everton? In going forward or even defensively?
I think the only thing that would worry me, so to speak, I wouldn't say worry, but sometimes you can get those games where they're going to be fighting, and I think that's probably going to be the case. It is May. They can't afford to be not fighting now, otherwise they will be playing in the Championship next season. But the thing is, we're also fighting. We need to get up there, so we need to be up there for the 6th, 5th spot. That's what we want. I think 4th is going to be beyond us now, but I think 5th and 6th is definitely on the cards, without a doubt. So I think that we should be looking at this team and looking at this game on Monday as it's a must win. We should be going to this team, and I think every game from now on out is a must win. And I'm counting City in those because you want to be able to be strong and knowing you've beaten teams above you as well. I know I'm not saying we're going to win it, but I'm saying for the team's mentality. But we go into this game, we must win, and I'd like to hope we do, and I think we will. I think we are too strong at the moment. As you say, those goals, I think that's even. When we had our first season, the second season in the Premier League, it was Murray, wasn't it, that got our goals really. He was getting like 13, he was getting like 10. And I think that was enough to keep us up, whereas it doesn't seem as though Everton have that. They once had Calvert-Lewin, it doesn't even seem like they've got him anymore. So it's a weird situation. A prestigious club. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. I think, that lack of goals, I think, is very worrying for Everton. I know they've drawn a few games, and funnily enough, their last game was a 2-2 draw. So, they can clearly score goals. Obviously, they're not scoring enough of them. Yeah, they got Neil Maupay, he's not really getting a look in, is he, really? Even though, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's been injured a lot of the season. He's still not really getting a look in, which is a bit strange, to be honest, because you must be thinking, what's he, surely in the predicament they're in, surely he gets a chance, right? He's shown, as much as we, sometimes, we're not take the piss out of him because he was great for us, but he did have his clutch moments. Do you remember, of course, against Palace, famously, there's Arsenal, there's a few times where. Yeah, he had a few clutch moments, so you'd maybe think, why not throw him in these kind of moments where you need a clutch player or someone who can score those vital goals at vital moments? Why not give him a go? But obviously that's not our issue anymore. We've got bigger things to worry about, thankfully. Next thing I want to talk about, Ryan, is team selection. Now, of course, recently we've had a few injuries. I say a few, quite a lot actually. Veltman being out injured. We had Caicedo at right back last game. Pascal Gross with a muscular injury, which we didn't really touch on, who obviously was a massive miss to us because he's so integral to the way we play and how good he is. First of all, do you hope Gross is back, and of course Ferguson as well potentially is in a looking with coming back as well?
I think we'll probably have Ferguson back. I saw him outside the ground before the game, actually, funnily.
Was it?
And he was walking. Yeah, I didn't speak to him, but I walked past him. But yeah, he looked like he was walking and he was, smiling. So hopefully, he's not too far off. It must just be a sharpness thing. Obviously, it's all well and good walking about, but playing a game of football is much different. But yeah, I think Pascal Gross, I probably wouldn't risk him for this one, if I'm honest. I think I'd probably hold off if he's not ready. Because I think that Gilmour was great. I thought McAllister was great. I thought he probably had one of his best games for us yesterday. So I wouldn't be as pressed on getting him in there. I thought Caicedo is adequate at right back anyway. But dependent on Veltman, I don't know what the Veltman situation is. It's really weird. He sort of disappeared. Webster was fantastic. Probably played Webster's best game as well.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
So he was fantastic yesterday. I'd say man of the match for me, but he was superb. I'm looking through that team. I don't see why Gross should be rushed. Really, maybe you'd have Fergie back instead of Welbeck, but Dav was good when he came on as well.
Yeah, but that's an interesting one. I actually, do you know what? I'm going to throw something out here, right? And let me know what you think. Solly March at right back. I think.
Yeah, he could do it.
Because he's done it. He's done it in the past where he's played wing back. Was it last season? He played left wing back. Like
he played left wing back.
Yeah, like the whole season, pretty much last season, or was it the season before? I can't remember now. But yeah,
the season before.
Yeah, he was fantastic. And so, do you know what? I know it's probably not natural for him to play on the right wing or right back even, but he has got all the attributes. He could do it. Do you know what I mean? And because the reason why I say this is because I thought, yeah, I agree with you. I thought Caicedo was brilliant. He deputised really well at right back, but he's so much like, I know this is obviously just, you
miss him,
stuff.
don't you, midfield?
You miss him in midfield, exactly. Like, do you know what? I would love to see Gilmour, if Gross is obviously out injured still, and like you said, not to risk him. Gilmour, Caicedo, McAllister 3, in that midfield, have March at right back, and then Ferguson up top, or even Undav. Because I'll be honest, look, you know, I'm famously a bit of a Welbeck hater, but let's be real, he didn't have his best games yesterday. I know he's brilliant against Wolves. He was brilliant against Wolves, but he did have a poor game yesterday. I just thought even his link-up play, there was a lot of times he gave the ball away, sloppy passes. It wasn't his best games, and he didn't have a great time of it, but. I would love to see, Ferguson up top if he's fit, with March at right back, and put Caicedo in midfield with Gilmour and McAllister. I think that would be a really, really strong lineup. But of course, De Zerbi sees stiff stuff that we don't, so I trust him more than myself.
I must admit, I'd probably have Facundo out. Like, I probably wouldn't start him yet. He probably got in a bit of a knock anyway. I think he's a great talent. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a great talent. Maybe just a little bit too soon, little bit out of his depth at times. I think he's a great player. I think he will be a great player. But I think when you've got Solly in there, he can sort of come higher as well. I'd probably agree. It really depends on whether Veltman's fit. Because obviously if Veltman's fit, you put him straight back in right back, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course.
But, I'd probably drop Facundo, just to free up some space with Moises in midfield. Maybe start Solly at right back, and then you've got a midfield 3 of Alexis, Caicedo, and Billy Gilmour. I think that's a very strong midfield. Then I think that you've got 3 ball controllers there.
And then obviously if you're dropping Buonanotte and then March is at right back, who are you playing on the right?
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because. You forget there's only 11 players on the pitch when you watch us play, to be honest, because we almost play like we got 20 the way we get about, you know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough. Maybe you wouldn't start Solly right back in that case and put him higher up. Then you'd have Adam Webster maybe covering right back, because he actually did a decent job there and he has done in the past. Then you've got
Colwill.
Because you could do Duncan Colwill, and then you've got obviously Stupinian on the left back, Mitoma obviously left wing. Maybe that'd be the case, actually.
Well, look, we never know with the De Zerbi side. Every game is a surprise, which is great.
I'd have Undav, though.
You would have Undav up top?
I'd start him, I think I would. Even if Ferguson's ready, I think I wouldn't put him straight in. I'd put him on the bench. And then start Undav, because I think he deserves it. I thought he got 2 goals, the other day, and then he had a decent shift when he came on yesterday. Put himself about, good link-up play, and had a good chance himself if it wasn't for the slip. And then, I thought he was a big reason as to why we started attacking more in that last sort of 15 minutes. So, I'd have Undav in there, and I'd put him alongside Mitoma and March. And then I'd have Webster right back, and then the midfield 3, as we said. That's what I'd do.
Agreed. All right, well then, let's wrap this up then. Let's go score predictions. I'll start on this one. Okay. I think, do you know what? I think it's going to be much tighter. I know we've sort of like shitted on Everton a little bit and about, their lack of goals and, the fact they're not doing very well. But I think it'll be much tighter than people will think. Because I think, the amount of games we've had recently is a lot. And I know we've been brilliant at rotating players. And, they're going to have a nice sort of 3-day rest now until Monday. Or not rest, but, light training, whatever it is. I think it's going to be tighter than we think, because, there's a lot on the line. They're going to be battling. I'm going to go with a very tight 2-1, I think. I still think we'll win. I am confident because just how well we've been playing and, how we bounced back from those defeats at Wembley and at Nottingham Forest. I think we've done really, really well since then. To come back in such emphatic fashion against Wolves and to get a really big win yesterday in such a late drama. I think it's going to spur the team on and really sort of be like, right, we can actually, because obviously I think from the Spurs game we all thought, is Europe now a bit unrealistic? There's a bit of panic stations. Then we lost at Wembley. Then we lost at Forest. And then everyone sort of got really down. But then things have changed since then. The tide's changed. And we're now back and feeling confident again, which is funny how quickly things, how fickle we are as fans. So I think, a 2-1 I'm going to go with. That is my prediction. Ryan?
I'm gonna swing that. I'm gonna say I'm very positive. I think there's no reason not to be. Yesterday we genuinely could have won. We could have put three past them in that second half. So and that's a Man United side. I thought we put 6 past Wolves. Another day that Forest game doesn't happen. It was a very 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 one off. I'm gonna say 3-0. I think we're good enough at home as well. Yeah, we're strong. We're very strong. I think that's what we've got to remember. I know Charlie said that we've got maybe lesser personnel. Probably one of the very rare things I disagree with him. Actually, I thought he was spot on pretty much with everything else he said. But I did disagree with the personnel because we all know how good our players are. And I think that it will be too strong for them, and I think we'll win 3-0.
I love it. Well, there you go. That is our Brighton versus Everton preview, of course, on Monday night, live on BT Sport, even though we're not sponsoring BT Sport. But if you want to shout us, boys, let us know.
BT. Jules Breach, come on.
Yeah, Jules, come on, mate. We used to work together. Come on. Right.
She followed me the other day as well.
Oh, sick.
A few weeks ago.
Love it.
Go on in, Jules.
Look at that. Between us, we've got Laura Woods and Jules Breach. What a combo that is.
Come on here.
Yeah.
On this podcast right now.
It's a funny story, actually. So I used to work with her at Latest TV. I don't know if anyone watching remembers Latest TV. Yeah, it was a Brighton. Yeah, Brighton TV channel. I think they're still going, actually. But I used to work with Jules.
Yeah, they do. I worked with them once.
Yeah, I used to work with Jules Breach on there before she obviously got famous. And I decided to... and then Rufo's put in the room. But anyway, look, we're going to call this a wrap because Rufo's going to start barking his head off. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Dog's gone.
And we'll see you next time.